enough. The degree that it takes to like get all the right buttons to drive our spaceship. Yeah, I can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
Let me just unmute myself. How's that? Does that work better?
Ooh, much
Okay,
better.
there we go.
You've got the captain's seat. You've got us going. Thank you. Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank
Yep.
you.
It's all live. We're going live to LinkedIn and live to Facebook and live to YouTube. And so you're Aileen and Isabella, you're famous too.
Yeah. We already knew that.
Better start now.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what's been happening in your lives and stuff in this moment as well. I mean, it's to join in this total celebration. I'd like to read a little bit about the book too, but just pop in with a little bit of yourself. Who wants to jump in? Just to include everyone in our little gathering here. Isabella, do you want to?
Sure, I can start. I did mention it in my reply to you when in your message, but I've actually been kind of busy the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on a weight loss journey. So that's been awesome. Really happy with it. And I met a couple of people that I joined up with, and I actually wrote and recorded a couple of songs.
Yay!
And released them earlier this year, one song in January and one in February. So that was like something I never planned, and whirlwind 2 years, and talking about growth experiences, like you said about the book,
Mm-hmm.
It really stretches you.
It does, doesn't it? But then that takes us to a whole new space. I mean, that's part of one of the things I'm looking forward to, the pieces about the book, because there's stories from lots of different people, and that's sort of why it's lovely that you shared your story here, because when we maybe feel that little bit of stuck or something like that, you can look at or lean on someone else for inspiration to be able to help us move through those pieces, and it's beautiful to be able to hear the excitement and the challenges, which is where you grow, but you've also your successes in what you're doing, weight loss and everything else. So, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Isabella.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, learning to see yourself, through your own eyes as somebody who's done this. And it's like, I did this thing, and you see yourself from a different perspective.
Woo, celebration.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Thanks for
sharing. I highly recommend it.
Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Well, more information for all of us to be able to, the next thing to look into, so to speak. Aileen, you want to share a little bit about yourself in this piece too?
Sorry, my internet cut out. I had to log back in.
That's okay.
And I'm in Niagara Falls and Ontario, Canada. And I love studying about self-love and love in general. So I'm a miracle mindset mentor, and I'm also a soul adventure guide. And I love learning and connecting with like-hearted people. So I'm happy to be here today.
I love it. Awesome. Well, I hope if you got the soul love and it touches your heart in some more ways and gives you some more insight and ways you can share that maybe with others in some way, shape or form, and whenever it happens. And, I believe, that we are in our essence, our souls, what animates us, and we are love in our essence of who we are. So I love what you just said and shared. So that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aileen. Oh, we lost her again. So last time I had a look, Mary, we were number 3.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yep. So,
I haven't looked in a minute. I've just been plugging away at sending out my invitations and making sure I've got everything in the right place. So I wrote a new gift today for people who find themselves at my landing page to look at the book links. I finally wrote a prayer that I've been wanting to write for a couple of years, and I was inspired by another prayer that I used to recite for many years, which is called the Abundance Change Me prayer, which I give due credit to Tasha Silver, who wrote the book It's Not Your Money, and that's where she put that in.
Great book, love
isn't it?
that. Yeah.
But I've always wanted to write my own prayer, and today it moved through me, guys, like the soul love thing, like the whole love vibration, and it's called Love Surround Me prayer.
Ooh, I love
And I just
that.
wrote this prayer.
It just flowed through you.
It just flowed through me. We've got it on my activating branding images, which is really activating that true essence of love. And it's now a gift to people that go to the link to actually just go to the landing page. So I'm going to drop that in so you guys can get the gift. I just have to make sure it's set up right. I just had a old setup, but yeah, that's what happened to me today on launch day. Like I was at another level of what I wanted to share with the world in a prayer, in a poem.
Oh, beautiful. I love that.
Expanding. I know.
Isn't it like it's another level of, to me, it's humbling when, things flow through us, when we get out of the way in our humanness and we allow the higher aspect of ourselves, whether it's our higher self, our guides, the angels, the universe, whatever it may be, to flow through us, to allow us to just bring in a new level of vibration, because it's learning, but it's really a vibration that we can share with the planet, in whether it's a client, whether it's a person, whether it's an infinite number of people. It's just so humbling when we can sort of get out of our own way and just allow that beautifulness to flow through us, and then others can benefit from it, which is so wonderful.
It's so wonderful. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, today we're not quite. I actually had a look because we're looking at. I thought the 21st was the equinox, and it's actually sort of the 22nd, whatever, astrologically. But I wanted to just pop in a few little words here about the thing about the equinox in launching, because that's Mary and Kim chose these dates aligned with the equinox, so just the equinox symbolically, it embodies the essence of renewal, just as the natural world awakens. In this case here, from the Australian side, we're going from winter to summer. So we're in our spring, whereas yourselves are in your autumn piece. So just as the natural world awakens from its wintry slumber, we too are called to shed the layers of our stagnation and embrace change. It's a season to release old habits, grudges, and doubts, allowing us to step into the light of our true selves. Mm-hmm. So, it was another little piece to do with sort of more the northern hemisphere piece. The beginning of each season offers us a blank slate on which we can project our vision for the next 3 months. The autumn, with its cooler, darker days, feels like an especially auspicious time to do that. The time periods associated with the harvest also can't help but be mirrored culturally. It's a time of year when we reap the fruits of our labor from past months, gain clarity around preserving the things we want to hold close, and allow aspects of life that aren't serving us any longer, be that unhealthy habits or problematic bonds, to just fall away before closing out our year. So another interesting piece that kind of folds into this beautiful launch of soul love and the opportunity for this book to help, but also help in awareness to shed things that no longer serve us, as well as we're in this equinox period. So I think that's a beautiful aspect of where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
This morning, the card I got this morning was in that too, like ready, set, go. With soul love, like ready, set, go. It's very like, harvest. It's time to harvest. It's time to just harvest that love. And
how good's that? This is so awesome. Yeah,
doesn't have any words. It's so good.
So this is so wonderful. I'm so glad you and I haven't seen each other for quite a while, Isabel. I'm so glad that you could come and join us here today. That's absolutely beautiful, and what a beautiful opportunity to see, connect, talk, and celebrate all at the same time. And
Yeah.
and thanks, Aileen, for hanging in there, despite the fact that your internet, keeps popping you off, then you jump back in. So that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for doing that. It's
Aileen, I've
absolutely
always
wonderful.
wanted to go to Niagara Falls. Is that where you are?
Yes,
Is that
that's
what you
where I am.
Yeah. I remembered when you said that, I was like, oh, that's a place I still want to see.
Beautiful. Where are you?
I'm in Sedona, Arizona right now. So I'm
Okay.
holding down the earth while you
Beautiful.
control the flow of water. Mhm. Yeah,
Beautiful.
what a magnificent scene. It's still on my bucket list. It's been on my bucket list for 25 years. So maybe you just reminded me that maybe that's one ask that I'll ask for sharing in soul love to go see Niagara Falls.
Hmm.
Mm.
I think it's interesting. I have never been to Niagara Falls, and I'm the same as Mary. I'd love to go there and go see it. I love the big waterfalls. I've been to, because I grew up in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has, one would say, an equivalent, so to speak, subtly different, but equivalent in the Victoria Falls. And I remember as a kid, going there, and it's just, there's so much water flowing over. There's the power of Mother Earth and the land, and typical sort of kid. Where the Victoria Falls is different, you've got the water sort of flowing into like a gorge, and it flows away. But Victoria Falls is like a crack, and all the water flows in, but there's such a volume of water going over that it draws and drags the air down, but it drags the air up the other side. And so you get this vertical rain, but vertical rain going up, which is really interesting. And I remember as a kid, like kids do these things, which thank goodness the parents weren't really aware of at the time, but there's the wind is so strong coming up the face that actually as a kid, I leaned, past, one would say, like you could fall over, but not fall over, because you could lean into this wind, and this wind just blows you up and sort of blows you back, And I just remember being completely soaked and just, getting the fun thing, and because kids, as an adult, you go, why would you do that? What happens if you fall over the edge, But as a kid, you don't think about stuff like that. You just, oh, cool, check this out. And you can lean into the wind, and it blows you back. And then you're all completely soaked, because it's just rain and water everywhere. And so what a beautiful place. So I can imagine, Niagara Falls is in its own way just amazing and unique. And you get to go there in the boat, go up close to it at the bottom at the water level and be there with all the power.
Yeah.
How
Have you
far
actually-
away are you from it, Aileen?
It's about a 10-minute drive from
my
my mother's house.
Mhm. That's good. It's
Mhm.
and I'm assuming you've been there many times. Do you actually do the walks near it or anything like that?
Yeah. When I lived here, normally I'm visiting my mom for a couple of weeks. We would run by the falls. We had like a 10-kilometer run that we would do. Yeah, it's lots of feels like lots of energy around that.
Because you and I were messaging backwards and forwards when we were talking about
Yes, we were.
Yes. that'd be amazing. So and I would imagine Niagara Falls, you get this very deep roar.
It is. You can, in certain weather, you can hear it all the way out to my mom's house. Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Wow.
And there's always like a mist coming from the falls, and a rainbow. There's always a rainbow.
How beautiful is that? It's just something about rainbows that just kind of catch our attention, and we kind of almost mesmerized by them. I think it's and a bit like I've got the same as you, Mary. With the different chakra mandalas that I've got, them just behind me as well, and so the same thing, but the colors, in the rainbow, and we are light.
Those are powerful.
Yeah. I thought I would just use this opportunity too to just read just a little section out of one of the chapters. I'll read my chapter because I'm hoping, when later on in the day, as the other authors join us, they get to read theirs. I don't want to steal their joy and do their bits and pieces. Seeing as you're here, Mary, and you're one of the authors, maybe you might want to read a little bit out of yours as well. But I just want to read just a tiny little section as a bit of a, a hint into some of what's inside the book. So with my little piece here, talking about love, the book is Soul Love. Love is the glue that holds all of creation together. The divine ecstasy of being fully immersed in the love of our soul, the love of the divine, and to have the absolute gift of being fully immersed and surrounded by that, and realizing I am that. And talking about our soul, what is it? At some point in our lives, many of us stop and take time to wonder about our soul. Is this us in our true sense? Is it consciousness? Is it a higher version of us? The questions and answers are many. Why wouldn't they be? Our soul is multidimensional consciousness and is also that divine spark that gives us breath, animates our body, and gives us awareness of our experience of this reality. On a larger scale, our soul, it is immortal, has a plan for each lifetime, and guides us patiently as we make our way through the journey of this lifetime and all the others in this and all dimensions that we're experiencing. So a little piece I wanted to just share with yourselves of how that piece of the book. Not sure, Mary, if you want to have some little bits and pieces. I know with all your busyness you're doing with posting and everything else, is there a little piece that you'd like to share from your part of the book?
I'm a busy little beaver over here. You're right. I
know, I can see you.
Hi, everyone who's joining us live. Thank you for joining us live. I'll read something. Let's see. I'll just read the first part because that's what I see in front of me. And for me, soul love is also signified divine love. And the title of my chapter is really Sacred Devotion. Divine love is my call to eternal service in complete surrender. Also known as living my best life, a daily commitment to remembering, honoring, and anchoring my true essence, accepting the truth that I have permission to stand as my healed self, to learn from, share, and value every experience, a deep knowing that I am safe, supported, and loved, my willingness to trust the outcome and take inspired action toward my deepest desire, the calling of my heart, and the passion and purpose of my soul. And these are the vibrational words that intermingle in my DNA. Unbound, detached, limitless, feeling all the love, seeing all the stars, touching all the trees, tasting all the food, hearing all that is in harmony. Every day I surrender to divine love. Ta-da!
Ta-da! That's beautiful.
I have found over the years that I just write how I feel after working through all of the things that I worked through in the other chapters. This is how it feels to be in soul love. This is for me how it feels to be in humanity right now, to vibrate at the frequency of love. And it is available, and we are capable, and it is infinite. And that's what I have to share about love.
Well, love is infinite, like you said. I mean, how and it's interesting too, as we as humans, that's who we are, that's our essence. And we could be more in connection to that. And sometimes we get stuck in our little humanness as part of our journey. But, when we do stop, and one would say we get to connect with that and just feel the essence of who we really are. And it's so yummy. And yet I sometimes wonder, why don't I stay in that space? Sometimes we don't, so it's quite ironic, but it's I guess that's, everything is relative, isn't it? And we have to experience the not so loving to enjoy the loving, because it is all relative. So Oh, that's beautiful. I've got some other messages popping in here as well. Got a message here from Addison, a dear friend who Mary knows as well. And Addison and I chat regularly. We have our once it's almost our weekly catch-ups, and so I really enjoy chatting with Addison. He's an amazing man. He channels Metatron. He's a coach. He helps people as well as businesses. He helps businesses move to a deep level of spirituality. He says, "Hey Paul, hope the book launch excitement continues. Happy day for you and the team." And so much love. Absolutely beautiful. So he's also an illuminated, one of us few guys that seems to be waking up. Unfortunately, we're on the minority at this moment in time, but hopefully we'll catch up to you ladies. You know, we're a little bit entrenched in our masculine. So, you know, as the divine feminine rises, we're we're a little slow, but we'll get there. Just be patient with us.
A deep and heartfelt thank you to the masculine for holding us for so long.
Thanks. I love that. Your vision of that is way better than mine. You know, my comment on that usually is we've kind of messed it up over the last couple of thousand years. We've made a bit of a mess of things, put us into our mind and our ego.
Certainly not you. You know, I have a fun story about Addison. I wonder if you're joining us live. I hope that you are. You should be on this call with us. I was sitting at lunch with a friend of mine named Margaret the other day here in Sedona, and she popped into the podcast. And I just recently had Addison on my podcast, and apparently Addison lived here in Sedona for quite some years and was very well known. And I'm sitting at lunch and she looks at me and I felt like a movie star. She said, "You interviewed Addison Amos?" I did.
You're a star. Woo.
You're a star, Addison, and so am I now, because she was just like, she wanted to touch my garment after that.
I love it. Yeah.
So thank you, Addison. And I wanted to share that. I don't think that I've popped in and shared that with them because I get really present in the moment. And so I stayed attached so I can always have an empty space for what's coming in. And so some people like to say that they forgot, but I won't say that. You won't hear me saying that. You'll hear me say that I'm present in the moment. And if I didn't mention it, Addison, I just remembered. So thanks, Paul, for sharing that too, Addison. And thank you for being on our post, Addison, for always supporting us and celebrating us. I see him a lot, you know, anchoring in, and you ladies too. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for supporting us all, those that are listening live. It really is huge to know that you are celebrating with us.
Most definitely. And I just sent the link through to Addison anyway. So the pressure's on, you know, because if he's watching it live, you can see us, you know, talking about him as well, you know, so, and I've sent him the link. So no pressure.
Yes, I know, right? No pressure at all.
Yes.
Pressure.
So the other interesting thing too, and just as another little share about sort of the beginnings of the book, Mary, just to fill you in, Isabella and Aileen, Mary's Divine Destiny Publishing, and Mary obviously publishes many books, solo authors and co-author combinations. And Kim Vandersand, did Kim really initiated, and she really wanted to, did you reach out to Kim, or did Kim reach out to you, Mary, in the initial startings of the book?
Kim and I was on Kim's podcast, and after the call, we had connected so deeply that there was a heart to heart. Maybe even some of it started before the call. And this is really the story of my life. So I always know when somebody's on a call in front of me, whatever invitations want to flow through my heart, flow through my heart. And so the invitation came to Kim to see if she might be interested in creating a book in the frequency of her podcast. And she was an instant wholehearted yes, just like most of the authors in the book, because that's what it's like to be in the premise of love, that all the things show up in front of you that are offering the next invitation and the next step. And it's an easy yes. So the invitation did come through me Uh, and she was like, yes. And so it went. And so here we are in the speed of light, or like we like to say, in the speed of love. This project was not waiting to be shared. This inspiration, these stories of personal growth they were done waiting. It was time. And so it really moved easily and effortlessly right out into this moment that we're in now. And it doesn't mean that when people were moving through their story time that they didn't go through deep levels of remembering and need to turn on and dial into deep levels of self-compassion, because that is part of being in full transparency. But part of being in the frequencies of love is, number one, to be in full transparency. So I could go on and on about this, but yes, I said hi and she said hello, and we've been dancing for the last 4 or 5 months with it.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And you know, I have to say that the actual title is what really drew me in, and because, you know, for me anyway, personally, I'm about soul. You know, previous company, Soul Genesis, and you know, I'm really, part of my soul mission in this lifetime is about embodying a deeper level of love, deeper level of unconditional love, self, of others, and you know, sharing that out, one might say. And so, you know, as soon as I saw the title, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a hard one to resist. And to be able to be a part of it with the other, you know, 11 other authors, you know, yourself included, Mary. It's been such a beautiful exercise in also being able to connect. I mean, you know, Aileen and Isabella, when you get to do a project with other people, and especially if you do something that's kind of soul and love orientated, you have several meetings and conversations. And Mary's always, all through the process, there's been many calls as Mary brings us all together and has community calls and author calls and all of that side of things. And it's been so beautiful to just create a deeper connection, you know. And the beautiful thing about it too is that we're all over the planet, so to speak, you know, Netherlands and America and Canada and Sedona and Australia. And so, you know, thank goodness Mary and Kim do the calls, two calls to do the two different, well, almost allow someone in, you know, whatever time zone you're in to make the call. But it's so beautiful because then we can just talk some more with the other authors and learn a little bit about each other and share parts of the books and our stories. And, you know, it's a lovely way to just, you know, make new friends, connect with more people, find that deeper connection as well, you know, as we all have the same, you know, I guess goal in a way, you know. And for me, you know, I love the book is potentially an opportunity for people to be helped in so many ways. You know, this is where I look at it, having the 12 authors as 12 different flavors. It's kind of like going to the ice cream shop, you know, and instead of just having chocolate ice cream or just vanilla ice cream, you get to have, you know, 12 ice creams in one. You know, of course, it's going to be a rather big ice cream, but, you know, you get to have all of those different, literally vibrational flavors, because, you know, each of us has had a different journey. We've written, you know, a soul love story about ourselves and aspects of our lives. And so whoever reads the book can have that opportunity that you'll find resonance, you know, with personally one or more of the authors and the authors' stories. And I'm where I come from is I really hope that it has the opportunity to help people that maybe are in a little bit of a challenging space, you know, and they read someone else's story and go, look, they made it through that, you know, and so that inspires us to make the steps forward again. You know, almost like we're climbing Mount Everest, you know, as it may seem sometimes when we're in a bit of a challenging moment in life, you know, and we start to lose that momentum and we start to feel tired, you know, and life just feels a little bit too oppressive. And then when you read something that's inspirational, someone else has been through that challenge, you know, you get to go, ooh, and then that fires you up again, and you've got a new sort of, spring in your step to keep going up that climb up, the Mount Everest, so to speak. So yeah, oh, that's lovely. Addison just messaged me again. I'm not sure if he was. Okay, he's gonna stay. He's gonna just stay in checking us out in YouTube land. Yeah. So Isabella, have you had an opportunity to get the book, or have you had an opportunity to read anything? Got any thoughts or comments or feedbacks on that piece? I don't want to put you on the spot, so I apologize for that.
No, and I actually just downloaded it like maybe an hour ago.
Yeah.
So I did get it, but of course I haven't had a chance to look at it or read it, but I can't wait. It sounds amazing. So yeah, I'll probably crack it open tomorrow.
I hope so. It's it was quite interesting too, just on that note, as part of the process in checking the links. Bye, Mary. Thanks for joining us. As part of the links, just testing beforehand, I got my dad to purchase the book, and it was lovely to see that, he was there, he was checking it out, and he was reading the book, he was going through little bits and pieces, and I mentioned to him afterwards a few things. He goes, oh yeah, I read about this from this author, and so it was really touching that he kind of, got into, and because he's not really into the soul love stuff too much, so he's a very practical man, so, doing things, fixing things, all that side of things, but he has a lovely heart. So, but he was reading the book and checking it out. So it's like, awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's amazing when you see somebody you're that close to, like, get so jazzed about what you're doing.
Indeed. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it does, it kind of, it almost means more when it comes from someone that you're close to. And if it's someone that's not really into that stuff as well, and that's kind of, that has another even deeper level again. So it's like, yeah, so that's beautiful. Thanks, Isabella. Aileen, anything, did you have an opportunity to see it, read it, buy it, whatever the case may be?
Well, like Isabella, I downloaded it an hour ago. So I had to make sure I had all the passwords for Amazon and Kindle and all that. So I have it all ready to check out after. I can't
Super
wait.
cool. Super cool. I know that was the funny thing that we had, because my parents hadn't used their Amazon for a long time, and they're not Amazon junkies, and so we had to organize everything and do all that, and so there was some debate as to whether we would use that or I would just ask someone else, but Dad came through. He managed to find the passwords and get all the login thing happening, so he's I think he's 84, I think. So stuff like Amazon is not really a high priority and that sort of things when you're at that stage in your life, so at least for most people anyway. So yeah, well well, probably I should let you ladies continue on with your lovely evening, and we'll probably take a little break, and then I'm going to jump back on again at 9:00 my time. We've got another call with the other authors and everything else scheduled as well. But I want to firstly just thank both of you for being here, being in support, purchasing the book as well, of course, but just being here and being in support. That is, it means a lot to me. Thank you for that. We all have busy lives. We've all got lots of things to do, but to take some time out like you have, which is, in this case, being 40 minutes of your lives to join and be a part of it, it means an awful lot. And I want to thank you both for being here for this and joining me in the celebration. It's morning my time, so the champagne, it's a bit early for champagne, so it's tea for me at this. Did my warm lemon water, and then now it's tea, and then there's the smoothie following it, with all the vitamins and all of that yumminess as well for the thing. So that'll be my breakfast. So it's evening your time. So yeah,
you can see the sun going down, and yeah, It's been I know what it's like to have a big project like this and work on it and then give birth to it and let it go out into the world and it means a lot when people rally around you and show up and support. And so I mean, my friends did it for me with my songs, and so it's great to be able to pay it forward to somebody else who's going through the same thing. So it's I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, Isabella. It means a lot. I appreciate that. And thanks for, one would say paying it forward, because there'll be times I'll be paying it forward as well. So bring it on, I'd say.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Well, lots and lots and lots of love to both of you. Have a fabulous rest of your evening. Sleep well, sweet dreams. And I hope the books does provide some wonderful gems of information and knowledge for you. If you like, when you finish the book, please pop a review on it as well, just to help others. I know I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, when I go into Amazon, I'm always checking out the reviews. What do people think about this? Is it good or isn't it good? And I read that stuff and I go to the 1s and 2s to see what problems might be there, and look at the 4s and 5s to see how good it is. And so if you have the opportunity, I appreciate that too. Lots of love to both of you.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Bye.